I was sitting around the table with a group of Germans and Europeans, and they had nothing but negative stuff to say about our country. Awful stuff. And just arrogance and bitterness and every stereotype you've heard that now your kids tell you about our country, right? That we have to hear our young people tell us. And I was hearing 5 years ago, and I had enough of it, right? I just said, all right, I got a question. What happens if what would happen if America didn't exist? And I got very quiet. And they said, one of them said, well, the world would be a lot less free. I said, okay. And that was the end of that discussion. And, well, what's the point? Is that a benevolent superpower is a very rare thing. We've made plenty of mistakes. We have plenty of problems, as I've said many times. I try to always, nuance it. But think about what other countries would do if they had the wealth and power that we had. Look what China is doing with the wealth and power they have. There's 1 million Muslims in concentration camps in China right now. 1 million. We say never again, but we're lying when we say that. The Holocaust is happening all over again in China. And we're okay with it. Are we? I don't know. I'm not. We keep buying products from them. We keep having our companies go over to them. We keep buying textiles from them. We keep buying our electronics from them. But you're funding the concentration camp surveillance empire in China. China's building islands in the South China Sea. They released a virus that killed 200,000 Americans, lied about it, probably a bioweapon from one of their labs. At the very least, it was absolutely covered up at the highest levels of their government, and time will tell about that. That has now infected the top levels of our government. They have the Belt and Road Initiative, where they're buying up natural resources and minerals in ports of entry of Africa, Southeast Asia, all across the world for their own betterment and their own enrichment. There is no church in China. There's an underground church, and if you get too loud, they'll cut your head off. So what would they do with absolute power? What would Russia do with absolute power? Where they poison dissidents and throw them in prison. Where there is no freedom of speech. Where Vladimir Putin is very popular. Just look at the elections.
Right.
What would North Korea do with absolute power? So that should take pause and we're like, wow, we have the most sophisticated weaponry. We have more aircraft carriers than any other country put together combined. There's only one other country in the aircraft carrier, that's now China. We have drone reconnaissance, stuff that no one else could have, an economy that if we turned on the faucet to just support our military, it could do incredible stuff. And sure, we make some decisions that are regrettable, the war of Iraq and all this, but generally we only ask for land to bury our dead. Generally, that's the rule of American foreign policy. We just say, just give us a cemetery plot so we can bury those that died so that you guys can be free. And so...
Any other nation have any other of their dead buried on?
We're not... Great Britain, other Western countries do that. But I'm saying, look at the power we have with a $26 trillion economy, more airports, more airplanes, more scientific discovery, 18 out of 20 of the top research institutions, a standing army that is unprecedented, incomparable, nuclear warheads, all this stuff. What would another country do with that kind of magnanimous power? And the question is, why don't we do that? And the reason is, despite all of our clumsiness and all of this, there is a pursuit to try to say, we want to do something good in this world. That's why. That's why we fought the Korean War. It's because we were not comfortable with the entire Korean Peninsula being under totalitarian rule. 100 million people are living free thanks to that today. And the same can be said for other World War II is another phenomenal example of that, where the European continent was an absolute crisis. And many people from this region of the world rised up to never come back, to go fight land that their relatives would never visit, to go liberate a continent from absolute ultimate evil, so that the intentional extermination of the innocent would stop. Yeah, that's a country I'd be proud of.
That's good. Very good. Very, very good.